So we've had Fortnite OG for about a month now, and it's safe to say that it wasn't as big as we thought it would be. Yes, we did have a previous mode back in November of 2023 that completely took the internet by storm, but this one didn't seem to hit as much, along with the nostalgia. So did the re-release of Fortnite OG for a second time, especially for it being permanent, completely ruined the nostalgia for most of the players in the game? Yo, what's going on, guys? If you're new here, my name is Tricky. Make sure to use code TRICKYS, TRICKYS, in the Fortnite item shop. And also, make sure to join the Discord down below in the description, where we're going to be doing some crazy giveaways over the next week. Now, when Fortnite OG first released on December 6th, we thought we would see peak player counts of over maybe even 6 million players, but we only got 4 million concurrent players in one day, and it slowly started to decline. Now we're sitting around 2 million players concurrently, and even with a 24-hour peak of just 2.2 million players, which, yes, that still is a lot of players, but granted, we do have so many creative maps, and only about 130,000 of those people are playing Fortnite OG. Now, first, before we go over if the return of Fortnite OG ruined its nostalgia, we actually have to go over the meaning of nostalgia. A sentimental longing or wistful affection of the past, typically for a period or place with happy personal associations. Now, I think the biggest two words that Epic needs to focus on in the definition of nostalgia is past and associations. What can tie into the nostalgia that has a prolonged effect for this permanent OG game mode? Now, we'll get into how Fortnite can implement this and what they can do, but let's focus more on the players right now and why the original players are leaving. I think that the biggest number one point is that the game mode is permanent. The players can come back at any time. Now, if you don't know, Fortnite OG is set to end in 2026, but it repeats. So if they can come back at any time, there's realistically no reason why they're going to play right now. Yes, this is sometimes a good thing, but at the same time, there should be a fear of missing out. Think about it this way. When we got the OG game mode in November of 2023, we saw such peak player counts of 6 million concurrent players, and I think the main reason why is just because it was so exclusive. Yes, it is nice to have Fortnite OG in the game, but it doesn't make it special at all. That's what makes Fortnite special, is exclusivity. And no, I'm not talking about skin exclusivity. I've talked about that so much in previous videos. I'm talking about the modes in general. If we have OG maybe once every single 2 years, which I think honestly is still too much, maybe have it a month out of 2 years, it would allow for this time to be so much more special, and for Fortnite also to be able to add a lot more into the game and keep players happy for that month, and maybe even transfer them over to the next chapter. The next thing I want to go over is the mix of present day mechanics, and the old mechanics just doesn't give that chapter 1 feel. If you sit and think of 2017 and 2018 had a different feeling than it does now, and the main reason for that is the mechanics and the gameplay. I've stressed this enough, and I feel like the movement and mechanics are not fit for this permanent OG game mode. It's too quick, and you have these older players that are coming back to the game that think that it's the old mechanics, old movement, and they're just not presented with that. They're presented with people that have played the game for 6-7 years plus, and they only played maybe for a year in chapter 1 and stopped in chapter 2, maybe moved on to different single player games or different PvP games. I think the next thing as well is that there was less hype, and in my opinion, Epic's marketing was not that well for this Fortnite OG game mode. I feel like the marketing was very rushed, felt quick, and it also didn't give the community a heads up. It would have been cool if Epic started to slowly leak the OG game mode, maybe did little hints, but it just didn't give that same feeling, and it didn't get as much engagement as it did on Twitter as well. And this ties into my next point. The OG game mode just doesn't have the same love that Epic gives opposed to modern modes. But I feel like if Epic spent a lot more time on this current game mode, this OG game mode, so many more players would have hopped on the game and stayed on the game for a way longer period of time. But one thing you have to remember is that this is only the beginning. We still have months and months of new content, and realistically, season 1 was boring and not many players started playing at that time. There weren't many new items yet, and honestly, a lot of the community expected this, including myself, which is why I thought they should have started at least at season 2, which really does surprise me because Season 2 had one of the best and first Winterfests, and you think that Fortnite would incorporate this into the modern day Winterfest that we had. Start at Season 2 and lead up to Season 10, and then maybe reset to Season 1 next year to bring even more hype for the beginning of Season 1. And my last point is the release of the game mode itself was too quick. But that's for a different video. Watch out for that later. I feel like that needed to be a separate video by itself. So let's go back to nostalgia. Past associations. What can Fortnite add to prolong their game and keep it healthy and keep the OG game mode healthy since it is permanent? Now, as you may know, Fortnite is very heavy on collabs right now, which some people think is a good thing, but others no, because it doesn't bring originality into the game. But if they want to stick with collabs, they could maybe use past associations such as past artists and put them not in the OG game mode. Don't do what they did with Chapter 2 Remix. Don't put their own POI or island, just their skin. Think about what music you were listening to back in the day, because honestly, I don't know what else to associate 2018 and 2017 with that Fortnite could put in the game, except for music and artists. Personally, I think of Lil Mosey, Lil Skies, Lil Tecca, maybe Playboy Cardi, and XXXTentacion. Those were some of the biggest artists of the time, and a lot of Fortnite players listened to those artists as well. Maybe the Fortnite community could vote on the top 5 artists of that era, and each month we get a skin in the game. It's a community vote, and obviously the artists have to agree to it, but it seems like most artists will, because it definitely helps their music out a lot. It would be cool to get maybe one artist every single season, or maybe even one artist a year implemented into the game to keep OG running. But obviously right now it is just the beginning, but so far it really hasn't affected the community that well. Hopefully we can see some changes for season 2, and I will make a video later on about what we need for season 2 to keep this OG mode running. And obviously OG season 2 has to be a banger, because if it is not, it could very much kill this permanent OG mode. But did the return of Fortnite OG ruin the nostalgia? Personally, I do think so, and I feel like many of the other people in the community also feel that way as well, specifically because of the marketing, the mix of present day and old mechanics, and past association. There was no association with the past to enlighten this OG game mode, and hopefully they do different for season 2. Hopefully Epic takes the criticism and also looks at other videos like mine, maybe this video as well. Comment down below just in case Epic watches this. What do you think Epic Games should add for the Fortnite OG permanent game mode? I would love to hear what you have to say. But guys, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, use code TRICKYS, TRICKYS, in the Fortnite item shop. I'll be streaming later today, so make sure you pop in, say what's up. You can maybe win a V-Buck code. But yeah, I appreciate y'all so much. It's been your boy Tricky, and I'm out. Peace.